Las Raiders. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lines.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 16. Wilson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he lost the football. And they are going to get this one back, it looks like. So nearly like-for-like fumbles, but they hang on to this thing and keep it a turnover. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Extra point by Colson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They go play action with Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have the first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a good call there. That brings up fourth. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Abdullah to return. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be Raiders football, first and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Out to the left, that's where the tight end Moreau is. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now Wilson. He'll get that complete to Alberto. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
He'll go up top here for Hamler. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Baron Browning, the one who brought him down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. He fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free. And these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. Looking deep downfield. And oh no, it's incomplete. It's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up fourth down. The kick by McManus is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Randy Gregory. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Going for the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Tim Patrick, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. McManus's point after is good. And it's now 17-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to air one out. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And Abdullah lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
Raiders 14.
There's a fast release by Wilson out to the flat. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. They go I formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. McManus's point after is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Brendan McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
25-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Loss of 9 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but... Oh, Cohen lost the football. There he goes, right side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. They haven't fully climbed the mountain, but they've started the ascent here with that score.
I like that, right? I think they've left base camp now,
okay?
So they've started to move their way up the mountain. Long way to go, but at least they know it's manageable.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least. The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also have those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Jacobs. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 35. That's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And he'll just get rid of it.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And he'll find Moreau here. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Daniel Carlson for the Raiders. A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that gets him back within 10. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 10.
Now Carr. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4. The kick by Carlson is good. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but a starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
A run between the tackles with Cohen. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give them 22 there on the third down conversion. Play action. Now Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this one is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Wilson's throw there complete to Hamlin. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And now it's second down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson swings this out here for Cohen. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cohen. This will wind up a loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Carr now on first down. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
3rd quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10. Carr now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3 and leaves him with 4th and 1. Carr going to go on 4th down. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? The advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, with about 95% chance of winning it.
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They go play action now. Wilson. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Let's give a little credit to the defense on that one. They resisted quite well, and that pass fell incomplete. But this ball game for him, that's just a momentary speed bump. He's played awfully well throwing the football.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards, the tally on the return there. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Carr now on 1st down. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Here's Carr. And seeing nowhere to throw, it chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The Raiders on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. Counter play with Jacobs. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
You have to figure with this offense on 2nd and inches, they're in ideal shape, but then they end up getting an incompletion, a run stuffed on 3rd and inches, and you look around and say, how did it become 4th down?
Carlson able to put this one through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now Carr. It's caught here by Adams. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing his Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Mac Hollins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, partner, here it is. They got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? and he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Wilson to throw. And that's caught by Williams. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
First down, a run with Cohen. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's Wilson. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like having there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's throwing it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. You think back to halftime, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here as we begin overtime, they're one drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something that factors into how they coach a ball game, because they say each game is its own entity. But within a game, I think they all believe in momentum, and they certainly have it going in their direction right now.
2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First throw of overtime for Carr. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
A great job there, and that old cliche, take it what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Carr going to throw. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up the 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
Jet sweep. Carr backs it forward. Down right around the 25.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Again, they'll throw with Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end,